He's trying his darndest to get in. He's trying
Lynn was working in her office late one night when her ears heard an eerie hear. Her monster in the mix began to rise, and suddenly, to her surprise,
It did the cast.
it did the podcast.
Spooky times 3.
It was a graveyard
Stream the
cast.
podcast.
It's caught on in a flash.
It did the cast.
You stream the podcast from TOYK Studios in the Los Angeles area, the Master Mix Room, where the eagle ears listen. The cryptids all came from the woods behind my G-Paw's house. The kids a jolt from my quick churros.
We did the cast.
They did the podcast.
Spooky times 3.
It was a graveyard
Stream
cast.
the podcast.
It's caught on in a flash.
It did the cast.
You've streamed the podcast. The anchors were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included BahamutGaming and Bandit, his son. The party was rocking, all were digging the bits. Rupert on chains, back with the chocolate raisin twist. The doctor detectives were about to arrive with their a cappella group, the Chiefy Dowsies
Of
5.
course you know.
The Halloween special.
Spooky times 3.
You maggot-eared listeners.
You played the cast.
It's caught on in a flash.
You played the cast.
They played the Spooky Times cast. Out from her coffin, Sarge Hatred hated something. Seems modern art's not the most troubling thing. Andre scratched his chin, raised his fist and said,
Why not? Live stream it.
They did the cast.
they did the podcast.
Spooky times 3.
It was a graveyard
It's
cast.
now live cast.
Which didn't quite catch on in a flash.
Let's go podcast.
It's now a live stream cast. Now everyone's cool. You can be a part of the show. Spooky Time is the hit of the land. For you, the living, the special was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them I sent you.
And you can cast.
And you can podcast.
Spooky times 3.
Yes to the Spooky Times
And
cast.
you can cast.
Though it won't catch on in a flash.
Spooky times 3.
Yes, this is that podcast. Cast good, easy, Iger, you impetuous young boy. Cast good. How's there more? Is this song secretly longer? What's going on? I thought this was the end. Let me offer this crazy ride. It's like the end of Get Out all over again. Is that Jigsaw? Hey, buddy. No games for me. I'm all gamed out. You could say I'm fucking done.
Amazing. No one can hear you in the stream.
No! Are you serious? Ah!
They can hear everybody but Brandon.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Well, it's on. You know what?
So he just looked like he was having a stroke for the longest time.
Ah! That's so irritating. That is so fucking irritating.
I didn't want to end it.
No, you should have told me. God damn it. It defaults to the stupid audio.
Audio listeners of the podcast, you'll hear that, and maybe I'll try to match it into YouTube.
I'm sorry, Brandon. I won't make you do it again.
I can put it in post.
That sucks.
I changed the meter too many times. That was a rough time. I should have had music.
We can hear him now.
Yeah. What the fuck?
You'll hear that
Can
later.
I just say, in Streamlabs, it defaults to not the audio that I need, and I have to keep.
Yeah.
Whatever. Fine.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I
How's
think
it going?
it's-
I'm
you know
Brandon
what? It's
Babcock.
funnier this way.
I'm
Whatever.
Andre Lubiani.
God damn it. Alright, I'm Nicole. Hi. Whatever. Fucking whatever. Sucks.
Fucking whatever.
Fucking sucks.
Introduce him.
And our special guest this week,
Hello.
the special Spooky Times.
Hello, I am BahamutGaming.
Oh,
How is
here.
Thank you,
Boo.
Bahama Gaming.
Thank you,
Boo
Bahamut
Hamut, yeah.
Gaming.
Thank you, Bahama Gaming.
Mm-hmm. We
You're
could just say it in
submitting
person.
yourself to the podcast.
Yeah.
I did. I finally. It's. I realized that all you have to do is send in enough articles, and then you can just get on to the podcast. So I've redeemed my articles.
It's true. It all adds like a coupon.
Your punch.
Yeah. Just take yourself to the local authorized, detailer, and they will give you, like a funny mouse pad with my face on it, saying like, "How about that?" That sort of thing.
Just 1,000 articles and you're in.
Easy enough.
We don't read most of the articles he sends, and let's let you guys know that. Thousands.
Every week.
It's tiring.
It's like 45
Yeah.
Like,
to
all
100.
right,
God.
enough.
Then
We've been
we,
in this podcast for years, but he's only started sending in more articles this last year.
and we don't even bring enough, and we still are like, we can't read these.
There's no news during quarantine. There's no news, yet
news
he's
in
sending hundreds of articles a day. Yeah, it's
Well, there was a
Man.
point where I was like, all that was sending was Bahamut. So I was like, Bahamut, chill. I was like, we need to have some other people. And then no one was saying, I was like, Bahamut, come back.
Come
Like,
back.
Wait,
I
come
do
back.
remember this.
I was too quick to judge.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
That's
I
it.
was.
Yep.
I took it
Kiss to
granted.
gith hoth in his mouth.
Well,
He's
for
kidding.
anyone who was here, if there's anyone here, we're like, why is Brandon gyrating? He was singing Monster Mash with lyrics made up about the
Yes.
podcast.
About the
And it
podcast.
was great. Oh well.
You'll never hear it. Who knows? Maybe I'll record a studio version to make the audio version better, because I have no backing music, and I'm sure will not mix up. But for the live version, that'll be there too.
YouTubers and audio podcasts, you just listen to it.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Congratulations.
Wow. So yeah.
You cracked the code.
Happy Halloween almost kind of.
Happy Halloween, almost kind of.
Halloween.
We're halfway there.
Yeah, usually this drops the Tuesday before Halloween,
Mhm.
as does, of course, and you will hear it then on the 27th with a lot more audio editing. It'll be all drummed up with the interstitials, and you'll get truly the best taste. But
Yeah.
you're early, so thank you.
Yeah.
Get to see us
I mean-
crash and burn in real time. It's fun.
Oh God, yeah. Halloween realistically though starts like at the September. Like if Christmas shit starts in November,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
give me 2 months of Halloween
That's what
stuff.
I'm
Like I
saying.
feel like that's a fair trade, and that's what I
Christmas-
started doing.
Christmas stuff started at the beginning of October because I
Oh,
went to a store like at the beginning of October, and there was Christmas trees.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
Walmart.
they're
Christmas
allowed
creep
to
is real.
override. They're allowed to override Thanksgiving. 'Cause
Thanksgiving.
Who gives a
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one.
Do not
one,
impede upon October times. That is
Mhm.
not
No one.
non-negotiable.
I saw spooky stuff, and then there was like a Christmas tree in the middle, and then the other half of it was like Christmas
Blasphemous.
stuff.
Was
Fucking
I
blasphemous.
was reading about some local man saw a bunch of Christmas stuff early and suplexed the attendant who was actually putting them out. Was that you?
That was
Andre?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
excuse
no,
me.
it was Andre. It was Andre.
No, it was you.
I didn't do anything.
To be fair, I was there as a tag team.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
Did we all
Also,
three
Three
just
deep
go?
them?
Also, to be fair, it's well known that I hate Christmas. So.
I don't even hate Christmas. I'm just like, don't fucking Christmas when it's Halloween
Right. No,
time.
same. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could have been a double tag team. I don't know. Who's to say?
I'm
Who's to
just-
say?
No, I do wish that it started in September. It kind of does. Like people are always like, hey, like in
I start doing
September,
stuff.
They're like, hey,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's Halloween. You
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I start seeing spooky stuff in September, like
Yeah.
near the end of September, because in the beginning everyone's like, "It's still summer, right? It
Yeah,
was so
I
cold
us-
to the beach, right?"
I usually watch the horror movies at the end of September. I'm just like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
close enough.
Yeah, we
Close
get
enough.
to the end of
Yeah.
September. And
Like-
all right.
The beginning of June, I say I'm the next year old, just for like myself. Sometimes the last week of May, I'm just like, yes, I'm already that age because I will get this wrong after the date it actually is. So I need to be early.
What if Green Day's when September ends? Like when it gets near the end, it just like picks up into a spooky song.
That would be
Oh.
unfortunate.
Cause he's like sad that September is ending, then he's just like,
September.
Mash.
When you know,
Yeah.
when you know what that song is actually, that seems very unlikely.
I know, but there's an alternate universe where it was just about how
Just about September ending.
how he was sad that he couldn't go surfing on the beach.
Yeah, he's like, my birthday's in September. Like,
Gonna end no more
yeah.
summer
It-
babes on the
Ah!
beach.
I don't.
Well, do you guys have any local spooky news? Anything spooky happened to you locally recently?
Anything
Spooky?
better?
I was washing dishes and then a ghost
Mhm.
came in, snapped
Yeah, the ghost did
snapped
it.
the plate over my
What?
hand and sliced my
Oh
finger
my
open.
gosh.
I went to the doctor and it was actually a
Oh.
witch, and then the witch turned my finger to a albino
Yum,
corn dog.
I think.
Oh, weird.
I thought you were gonna say a pickle, and I was about to be like, man, hopefully you didn't have a
Oh.
grilled cheese next to you, and just
Funny.
like, oh no!
I thought you were going the route
would-
of
that would've been
that
bad. I would've
funniest
eaten
shit
it.
I've ever seen, but turn my
Oh,
into a
I
pickle.
see.
Man,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I would have eaten.
It's
that.
truly a show for intellectuals, much
Yeah.
like this one.
It's an injury for
There's I mean, it's not like crazy like new news, but there's a house on our street that's like it's a 2-story and it's just like this like big dark rectangular house. It's like painted like almost black, and I never see people go in and out of it. But in the winter, because we get like massive storms, so you usually see like tracks of the cars going into the garage and stuff, for people like going up into the house. But there's lights that turn on randomly, and I'll be like walking back from my neighbor's house, and it'll be like 1 in the morning, and I'll be drunk, and this house is just illuminated all red. Like every light is on in the house, and it's just red lights. And I'm just like, that's where witches live. So
That's right.
to this day, I still believe that our house, we have like a haunted house on our street. A lot of people say that's just like automated lighting, but I don't believe that. That's technology's not that advanced.
You just got electricity, you know.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. I will
mean-
say that we do live in an era now of like smart lights. So it's
Mhm,
weird.
mhm.
This is it's a concept I didn't really put into thought till just now that that's a thing that you're like, oh, is someone being haunted? Or
Yeah.
did they like is the baby out of the crib and the lights?
I
turn
mean, Andre, you literally have like Tony Stark voice activated light.
inappropriately activated.
So are they more Austin Powers activatable
really
light?
Austin Powers.
They could be more clever. Not more clever than Austin Powers. They could be clever like Austin Power activated light.
Sure.
I should rename them.
Fuck. So I know that recently a few of us have played some spooky game called
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophlambo.
Five Phasmos and Freddy.
5 Phasmos
Yes.
and
Five
Freddy.
Phasmos and Freddy's, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. That's right. This is a spooky game corner. Yeah, Phantasmagoria is a
That's it.
great
That's what
game.
it is.
You can play with 4 characters, and you and your 3 friends get very scared because you're high.
Very scared.
Very scared.
We did play it last night.
Yes, I wasn't
and
there for that.
We got to an insane asylum.
Oh, that
What?
one
Oh,
You
sucked.
got there.
That one sucked. I
And-
hated it.
Boy, is that map huge.
Oh,
Big.
you know
So
I
wait,
gotta play that.
It's too big.
Let me ask you, because I haven't played it. I just kind of like, and I haven't really watched any streams or anything. Like, is it just like random generated maps that you have to go do things in, or are these like preset maps
they're
and with
preset
like
maps.
preset?
Yeah.
Do they have
I
the
would-
same goals, or are they
They have
more random?
Different goals, right? Because they're different ghosts.
It's randomized goals for
Okay.
different
Yeah,
ghosts.
randomized
each
ghosts
ghost
and
has its
goals.
own. Yeah.
Yeah.
One,
So you'll get to the same maps because like every time you play, you have to build yourself back up to get
Okay.
to the more advanced maps and stuff, get
Mhm.
the more advanced tools. And so yeah, you'll have
So-
similar
some of them
maps.
I
are
do
like,
kind of wish it was procedurally generated. I feel like that'd be more interesting.
That'd be
so
sick.
like a asylum mixed with someone's like living room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They should go real wacky wild with the.
Actually, yeah, if that did fuck up, it'd be like Psychonauts. You'd be like, what's happening here? We must be
Whoa.
conscious of the ghost. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's creepy because it can like
That
close
shit.
doors and temporarily lock them, which it did to us in the insane asylum. It locked the doors to get back.
Mhm.
But this one was creepy. Like all of them, like the car door opens and you can see the house. Like the truck slowly opens for you to reveal like the creepy thing that you're looking at. But the insane asylum, when the doors opened, it was just the doors of the insane asylum. You were like right up on the building.
Yeah, it's really like
Mm.
the truck's like, here you go.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
God.
Ours
in
we
the
had to
front.
take photos for ours, and like we were in like an intersection of like into the basement, which we really wanted to go to the basement, but like it was in the corner somewhere. We're in a hallway in a corner. We're like looking back and forth. It's so dark, and then we just hear like the heartbeaters, like, and then Simon gets attacked, and it like snaps his neck. And I took a photo of his neck like snapping, but the ghost up in it. But then after he was dead, I was just rapidly taking photos, and I took one of and Nicole, and then there's just like a black demon shadow behind. And- And then we all
That's
just looked like, we gotta go.
Yeah, we were just like, nah.
Simon's
It was. I
corpse.
heard before. It's interesting though. I heard before that someone else was like, yeah, when I went to asylum or was it high school? I don't remember. They were like, the ghost guards the stairs. Like it's in the stairs for some reason. It wouldn't let us. Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
what's down?
I don't know. We never went down.
Cake.
Funny.
Cake.
Cake probably.
No wonder
Ghost
That's
people
my
go down
best
there.
guess.
The thick
I
ghost.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, phasmophobia. You find out what the ghost is. What do you know? What who brought it up? What are you gonna rate it?
Brandon.
I will rate it as
I'll
this
rate
is podcast. Yeah, we can all rate it.
Yeah.
Podcast tradition. I will give it 3 ickies out of snickies.
Okay.
Good game, but I do feel that the early access is, of course, showing because
Yeah.
it's early access.
Yes.
So,
Very much
I'll
so.
say 4.5 ickies out of Schnick.
Damn.
I only say that
Wow.
because like it's probably gonna get repetitive and wear off.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
not gonna
quick
lie. I'm
if
already
you
bored
play
of
it
it.
too much.
Damn. Okay. Yeah,
I'm a
that's
little
fair.
bored of it, but
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
fine. It's a very interesting concept. I want to see them do a lot more of it. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 friends planning to play it with me on Wednesday, so I'm excited. Like I've been trying to stay like slightly on the edge of like what it is, so I don't spoil
Yeah.
anything.
Oh
But, like,
shit! I'm
I
sorry,
have
I didn't mean-
no. You didn't spoil anything at all. No. It's
Okay.
like I just like it's mostly just seeing stuff. So I have a rough idea of the game, and it seems really really exciting. But I've just been watching a ton of Hades just because that game.
Hades. I love that game.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's beautiful. It's awesome to watch,
but-
and it's just it's a cool roguelike. But the one thing that like I'm noticing a lot is it does get super grindy after a couple runs. Like
Okay.
once you win a couple times, it's just kind of like I need to basically just grind this game to get to end game material, which that's the only thing where I'm just like that's
Right.
hard.
Yeah.
That's a hard sell, but at the same time, it's $20. So
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I've it's the Super Giant, right? That's the name of the.
I think so.
Yeah, because
That's right.
I've liked their games a lot for a long time, and I love that they just
Yeah.
keep their like lead artist Gen Z is like one of my favorite illustrators.
I was talking with Brandon about this before we went live, and there's a lot of sexy characters in that game. Like
people are very
Hades-
horny for that game. I've realized.
Hades is a goddamn zaddy.
Yeah, Hades is the only one that I'm like, all right.
What? Not the- what? Okay.
So far
Okay.
that I can remember, you know,
Okay. Okay.
I have to like go through the game more. I only played through it a little. It was still
Yeah, I
early
think
access.
that's the game plan for me tonight is just to sit and just play that on Switch because that sounds like an easy, comfortable night. But
Yeah.
I get
only thing-
Nicole.
Oh.
I get Nicole that Zagarius isn't quite a zaddy, but I'm
Wait,
just
what?
saying,
the main character,
main character,
Hades'
quite a
son.
zaddy, a little too edgelord for your taste. I get it.
Trying to make my camera's so dark. Sorry, I've been trying
Other
to.
way.
I can't really angle
It's
it.
this-
It's not
Oh,
built for
okay. I
angling.
was gonna say it's the sunlight. Yeah, see,
Whoa,
that's
hold on,
good.
maybe if I.
Do-do-do-do.
No, but that's my finger.
I was gonna say the sunlight was competing with
Do
your
it YouTube
contrast.
vlogging style the whole time.
What about this?
It's
very
not the same.
All right, I
Whatever.
just
I'm
figured
so fucking over it.
it's fine.
It's spooky. It's
Let's set
spooky.
an angle. Okay, there we go.
That
That's a
actually
little
works better somehow. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Sit over here.
Perfect.
All right. Cool. Wait. So, comic.
Yeah.
gaming. You said you
Mhm.
had a spooky game corner.
Yeah, the one I wanted to bring up is Little Hope. It's not out yet, but it's from Supermassive Studios. They made the Man of Medan, and they also made
Yeah. Wait.
the it's the Dark Anthology picture
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
So it's their 3rd game that's coming out.
Oh,
so
yeah. Is it not?
it
Yeah,
literally-
yeah.
it drops on the 29th or 30th. I know for sure on the
I wanna play
30th,
it
but
really
I
bad.
so Steam's like it's like $30 on Steam, which I was just like that's super cheap. But it's still in that same like, you choose things and it affects the outcome of the
yeah,
game.
I played
and
Man of Medan.
And so this one takes place during Salem time. So it's like
Yeah.
the 1600s.
Yeah.
And so you have a modern day storyline and then you have the Salem storyline. And those are going to intertwine. I'm super, super excited because
I'm
like
excited. Yeah.
it's supposed to be like real scary. Because like Until Dawn's good and it's got a lot of jump scares, more or less. And
Yeah.
Man of Medan had a lot of like good action
Man of
thriller
Medan
kind of
was
stuff.
not as great as. Yeah.
I enjoy it. Like I'm
Okay.
replaying it right now and I'm enjoying it. It's nothing like, oh my god, yeah, but at the
Yeah.
same time it still is pretty enjoyable.
Yeah.
Also just because there's replayability with those games where like I'm replaying it and I actually just did two things by not doing anything, I actually progressed to parts of the story that I've never seen before. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's there's so many just webs and it's really cool. So I'm excited for Little Hope that comes out because that's supposed to be terrifyingly spooky.
I remember seeing the teaser
Hell
for
yeah.
it at the end of the other one. Like they show a little like
Oh.
Yeah.
teaser.
We should play it on the stream.
We should.
It's actually co-op. That one you can do co-op too.
Oh.
Yeah, the other one's
Yep.
co-op also.
Yep, Man of Medan's co-op, and then but I
Yeah.
think this one has like a more expansive. I think it's a local co-op, but you can still
Oh.
kind of
How,
step it up.
how do you co-op in it? Do you both
So-
take
different
different routes?
characters.
Yeah, so at least in Man of Medan, where that was the first one they did the co-op story.
Yeah.
Like, there was I've played it twice with friends, and they'll do things that I will never see, but their choices have an outcome on the things that I'm doing somewhere else, and vice versa.
Oh.
Interesting.
So, like a good example of Man of Medan, there's a part where the couple goes scuba diving, and then you're on the ship. And if you're playing co-op, one player's just on the ship and one player's just scuba diving, so you have no
Oh.
idea. And then so when you
Didn't
play
know
it
that.
solo, you get to do both things.
Huh.
Mhm.
Okay. Huh.
That's
I thought for
pretty
some reason I
interesting.
thought it was like with Man of Medan, I thought it was like everyone controls a certain character and then it's their turn. They do their thing. It's another person's turn. Their
It's
thing.
all simultaneous. Like there's,
Huh.
but the unfortunate part is if one player isn't moving quick enough.
Right.
So like, let's say my area is less story intensive than what my partner's going through. I'll be kind of just hanging around in limbo for a little bit. So there's that.
Right.
That's the only downside about the co-op factor is if
Sure.
you move through your stuff faster than your friend,
Right.
you just kind of hang out and it's awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That less
enough.
stream friendly when that happens.
Uh,
You
not-
have bandit cam, so you're good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, there's dog cam, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, introduce
Small
This is two
boy.
for the price of one. It's a BOGO.
Well, we only can afford so many words for Bandit. So this is my son Bandit, and I think that's as much as I can afford to say on stream about him without having to pay more money to him. So
Yeah.
Right.
no, it's my good
We're
boy.
fair.
It's my good boy Bandit. He's
Yeah.
my 7-year-old puppy.
Leave
That
the
one's on
boy
the
be.
house. That's in the house. That extra
Yeah.
description.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we
He's like, all
heard
right,
it, but-
everybody gets one.
You guys don't know how much it costs to get Chris on here.
Yeah,
Oh.
so much money.
That's why I had to charge him if he ever speaks about his dog.
Yeah.
We could get it right back in our pockets.
We were talking
yeah.
about submitting that many articles, but no, really, we had to spend a lot of money
Oh yeah.
to get Chris here. He's a big caster.
That's the thing. Like, because legally, once you send in that many articles, you have to be in the podcast.
Mhm.
The
It's-
problem is, he charges for appearances.
Yeah.
We have
We
to
like-
hold ourselves to our words.
I mean, we just had our draft show last night, and it was we like within the first 10 minutes, we jumped to 1,000 viewers, and we were concurrent for the majority of it at 4K plus.
Oh,
Hell
wow.
yeah.
Like it was, and it's like esports doesn't do draft. Like we're talking draft shows like how in real sports or physical sports or the NFL, like you have
Mhm.
the big draft show and this kid from college who's gonna get his big break. Like literally, it's that, but esports, and nobody's doing it. And we did it in 3 hours, and it was just chaos, and it was beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
some of the best stuff. That's us all the time.
all you listeners out there, you have a time machine on you. This is specifically for you. You can go back in time and watch that, and also spend the time learning about Heroes of the Storm because it will be helpful. And
I
You
always
don't need
think
to go
of
in
whenever
more.
you say heroes
If
of
you
the
d-
storm, I think of
yeah.
songwriters on. It just pops into
Riders
my
on
head
the
every time, no matter
storm.
what.
A lot of people actually end up thinking of Heart of the Swarm because it's the same.
Oh,
It's
got the same-
HOTS.
Yeah.
So and yeah, it's so.
Yeah.
HOTS hots.
Uh-huh.
but if you don't have a time machine for all of you, just maybe start watching some stuff. Maybe you'll learn something. I suggest BahamutGaming, and I do his plugs for him, but that's what the last part of the podcast is for. So
I get a double plug.
Once again, he paid for it by
Yeah, yeah.
making
It's
us
all
pay
paid
for him.
for.
It's crazy.
We're all
He really got us by
script-driven.
the short ones.
We're reading a script.
Bank
We
account's
paid for
empty.
everything. It's a really desperate mood.
In like 20 minutes, Andre will have a shoe on his head. Just
Yeah,
it's
like
easy
Vermin
enough.
Supreme.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta remember that.
It's gonna be funny
Supreme.
when someone who like jumps in the VOD, they like literally go plus 20 minutes and there's just shoe on head. It's just like, oh.
Oh shit. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, all right. I should kick off
Yeah.
spookiness, I guess.
Let's do it.
In the daylight.
We're getting in.
If anybody's not familiar, we all
Yes.
there's no more normal news. It's spooky stories and
Yes,
maybe news if someone has news.
Yeah.
And Brandon reads these these park ranger spooky stories.
Yes, I like them quite a bit.
I'd say he's the more realist out of the stories. But his are very eerie. Do you have
Yeah,
something to add to that, Brandon? You look like you're
No.
about to say something. Okay. Nicole reads SCPs.
Yes.
Spooky.
Here,
They're just
contain,
spooky.
protect, baby.
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
Monsters of the night, all put into one building under one roof.
Yeah. It's
And then I
like Cabin
read,
in the Woods, if you've seen that.
Yeah. And I just read shitpost spooky stuff.
Of course. Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
And Chris has brought
Absolutely.
some of his own.
Yeah, I brought
No
some
idea what they are.
some creepy lore and a creepy story.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Crazy what the cheese was.
Fucking- All right. Cool.
All
Who's
right.
starting?
Cool. Cool. Who wants to go?
I mean,
first?
I could start with one of those
Do it.
Cabin.
Do it.
cabin stories. So I'll just read this as I always do, the lead in, just so you guys know what this is all about. I am a search and rescues officer for the U.S. Forest Service. I have some stories to tell. I wasn't sure where else to post these stories, so I figured I'd share them here. I'd been a SAR officer for a few years now, and along the way, I've seen some things I think you guys will be interested in.
Wait, I have a question.
What's your question?
Are all these stories are they positing that all these stories are from one guy's experience?
No. A lot of them
Okay.
are him telling stories that he's heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was,
'Cause I
if
was
I'm not
like,
mistaken,
I thought,
the
Just
dude
one
was
guy
a
with
park
really
ranger.
bad luck.
Yeah, and he just has a lot of experience with.
okay.
like-
Because I was like, damn, he has some bad luck.
I think they have a ton of stories, but they've just gathered a ton in their
Yeah.
many years, if I remember correctly, for the lead in for
Gotcha.
that.
So it's like a collective. Okay, gotcha.
Kids are disappearing. There's some spooky
what I
stairs
thought,
in the
but-
middle of the wood.
Mhm.
There's a Wendigo shit coming down the stairs in
got
the
a
woods. I
Wendigo.
saw him.
Oh,
I just love the idea of the
Ooh.
spooky stairs. Like, even SCP has like spooky stairs.
Yeah, this is
I mean, they have a
very
can
popular.
of Coca-Cola.
spooky
When you
stairs
told
one.
me the stair thing, I literally just pictured like severed stairs from like like an office building, just in
Oh.
the middle.
Nicole, are you talking about the stairs of that university that like
It's-
go down and down and down?
Yeah. They go down, down.
Yeah, that
down,
one's
down,
good.
down, down. I read that one. I honestly did most of the well-known one. Pretty
Did
much
you do the
off
IKEA
bat.
one?
The which one?
The IKEA one?
I don't remember. I know.
No,
I think I know what you're
didn't do
talking
IKEA.
about. But
Okay.
yeah,
We didn't do IKEA.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Brandon.
Yeah,
Oh.
go on.
No.
We're diffusing the spooky. Go ahead.
No worries. No worries.
Oh,
I
should've
have.
gotten
I'm
some
only gonna
spooky
read.
music.
I'm only gonna read one tonight.
Oh wait,
but,
wait. Hold that thought.
Oh, you got some- Okay.
I'm gonna edit spooky stuff in.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Nicole, it's a spooky song that makes his stories more creepy. Put it over Chris's.
Well, it'll only be.
Oh
in
no,
the
Brandon
live-
has that. Brandon's editing this.
It'll only be
That's
in the
right.
live version.
Nice.
Music.
Terrifying.
Yep, love doing it live. All right, I'll read.
Andre, you should tell me if
Oh.
the music's too loud in the stream.
I think it is fine.
Okay, cool. I'll just read the shorter one, but that's also long. When I started off as a rookie, no one told me about the job in terms of the weird things that could happen. I'm assuming this was largely to prevent me from freaking out and abandoning the park. But a few months into my service, when I was still a rookie, a friend and I were drunk at a party, and he opened up a bit. Yeah, get a little crazy out there, I guess. I think the worst are the ones where someone dies and absolutely shouldn't, you know? Or when we find them dead like 10 minutes after someone says they saw them last. They were fine when I passed them on the switchback, I swear. That sort of shit. Like, take this guy I found out spring. It was a really popular trail. Someone comes into the VC freaking about some guy who's lying in the middle of the path in this giant pool of blood. So we run out there. We find this guy dead as a doornail, which he absolutely should be because the back of his head is like mashed potatoes. The skull is decimated. The brains are leaking out like custard filling. The guy's old, so you probably figured, yeah, he probably fell and hit his head. Like, old people fall all the time. It's no big deal. Except there's the area where he fell doesn't have any big rocks. There aren't even any stumps or big branches. And on top of that, there's no blood trail. So he clearly died where he dropped. That's when you turn to murder. People just out of sight with the guy. Like, if someone came up behind him and murdered him, there's no way someone wouldn't have heard. And again, if someone had, there'd be a blood trail splatter all over the place. But everyone in the scene said it looked exactly like he'd fallen and smashed his head on a rock, so what the fuck did he hit his head on? There's this lady I found in a different park 5 years back. I was upstate. We found her in the middle of a stand of big junipers, curled up on the trunk. She was like hugging it. We picked her up to move her, and a fucking waterfall comes out of her mouth, splashes all over my shoes. Her clothes are dry, and her hair is dry, but the amount of water in her lungs and stomach is phenomenal. Like, unreal, man. Coroner's report says the case of death was drowning. Her lungs were completely full of water. We were even in the middle of a high desert. It's a body of water for miles. No puddles, no nothing. No signs of anything else being out there. I mean, yeah, it's possible they were murdered, but why go out of the way to do it like that? Why not just stab them and be done with it? I don't know. It just sits weird with me. Now, of course, that freaked me out a little. We were wasted, but I sort of wrote it off as a fluke. I also just assumed there was exaggeration there. You know, we were wasted. Now, I don't like talking about this next case very much. It was an awful one, and I've done my best to forget about it. But that, of course, is easier said than done. It happened about 6 months after the conversation with my friend at the bar, and up until that point, it had a lot of really weird shit going down. There's almost nothing. A few here and there, of course, the stares, but amazingly easy to get used to that stuff when it's treated as if it's normal, and this case wasn't any different. A guy with Down syndromes in his 20s went missing after his family lost sight of him on a major path. There's this it's odd. The guy was never left his mom's side. He was always there, and she was absolutely convinced he'd been kidnapped. And unfortunately, a ranger who isn't with the park isn't anymore. Anyway, no one's going to kidnap him. Like, there's just us around. And especially, well, tough to say with that kind of disability. Not very tactful, to say the least. We wasted a lot of time trying to calm her down enough to get information about him and put out an official missing persons call. Because of the urgency of the situation, him almost being able to barely function by himself, we had the local police come in and help us. Couldn't find him the first night, and just heartbreaking. None of us wanted to think of him being out there alone. We assumed he just kept wandering and staying ahead of us. So we brought out the helis the next day, and they'd spotted him in a little canyon. I'd helped bring him back up, but he was bad shape. I think we all knew he wasn't going to make it. He had fallen and broke his spine, and couldn't feel his lower half. It also broken both of his legs. One had a femur, and he lost a lot of blood. He was confused and scared while he was alone, so he probably exacerbated the injuries by dragging himself a little ways. I know it sounds awful, but I was riding in the copter with him. I asked him why he'd run her off, and just wanted to have something to tell his mother so I could let her know it's not his fault. He was fading fast, and I didn't think she'd get to ask him himself. He was crying, and he said something about how the little sad boy had wanted him to come play. He said the little boy wanted to trade so he could go home. Then he closed his eyes, and when he woke up again, he was in the canyon. I'm not sure that's exactly what he said, but the gist of it was he just kept crying and asking where his mommy was. I held his hand and tried my best to keep him calm. It's cold out there. He kept saying that. It's cold out there. My legs was frozen. It's cold out there. It's cold in me. He was getting even weaker, so he eventually stopped talking and his eyes closed for a while. We were about 5 minutes from the hospital. He looked right at me, big tears running down his face, and he said, "Mama won't see me no more. Love Mama. Wish she was here." And closed his eyes, and he just never woke up. It was horrible. I don't like talking about it. That was probably the first case that really rattled me badly.
Whoa!
Hey.
Hooray! Aw. What
A
a
little
happy
boy.
ending.
What a happy ending. Yay!
Hey!
Hey!
That was a
Spooky
it was a
man.
spooky man. Yeah, I like
Oh,
those.
always fun bringing these songs.
Those are fun.
Songs. Stories.
Those are always fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very spooky stuff's happening like in the woods like this, and if someone just like mowed the whole forest down, would you just find so many spooky things like just
Yeah,
like
right? What
hanging
if
out in there?
what if burning the rainforest actually a pretty good idea?
No, I think it's a bad idea because it will displace all the spookums.
Oh, it'll be like
You know how many
releasing
unidentified spooky monsters are in the
Oh.
rainforest?
Oh, much like species that they are identifying every day, they will find all new cryptids hanging out down there. We don't want to
Yeah,
know.
all hanging out.
Yeah.
You think
Bigfoot.
Blanca from Street Fighter is funny? Like, oh my god. Like, think that, but like bottom of the ocean angler. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna
Sonic
Oops.
EXE is in the rainforest.
Sonic EX. Yes, I've heard this. Sonic
Yeah, like-
Dreams.
If Tahoe burns, then Tahoe Tessie literally has to go find a new home and don't want a giant lake creature just wandering around, right?
No.
Nope.
No, probably not.
That's what's always interesting about like those horror movies too, and like someone gets like lost in like gets lost somewhere in some like normal place like in the forest or something. There's like a giant monster, and it's like how come no one has ever seen a ginormous creature in this world ever before?
blind.
Oh, I love little spooky man.
Yeah.
It looks like me
so-
just going to the fridge at night just to get cheese.
Yeah, I think that's probably what this one.
Audio listeners, he's Shadow Man with two
Little
eyes
Shadowman.
hunched over in front of a circular window.
Yeah, it looks like a.
There's
or
a
it
cross
looks-
above him.
Yeah, it looks like.
It's a very
It's hard to
religious
tell.
monster.
No, that's not a.
Loves praying. Loves Jesus.
Loves
So above his back, there's a
Jesus.
cross above his back.
No, that's just the. That's literally just the window.
Oh, those latches. All right.
Yeah.
It's tiny. Okay.
All right. So, for those who don't know, SCP stands for Secure, Contain, Protect Foundation with a bunch of ghoulies in it.
Ooh.
Strange
I'm
going
scared.
on. It's like a lab. It's like it's like Cabin in the Woods. It's like a lab that Spooky's House of Jump Scares.
Wait, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their
That's fucking
alerts are like
hilarious.
a chill, like I can't, you mad bro, like super pissed,
Yeah.
and I murder you.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see.
Special class is I'm God.
But yeah. So
That's Jalen. Jalen's the last.
Yeah.
The last SCP.
last.
Yeah.
All right. So it's object class. It's a Euclid. I forget what they
Okay.
mean, but just pop it. I don't remember. There's.
That
Pop
one's
it in.
that one's
Oh.
you mad.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
means it's a bad.
You mad. bro.
Oh, having just heard it because it was inserted, that's what it means.
Euclid class are anomalies that require more resources to contain
Yes.
completely,
Ah.
or where
Yes.
containment isn't always reliable. Usually, this is because SCP is ineffectively understood or inherently unpredictable.
Bad.
All right.
Spook, 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 spook,
Alright.
spook, 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 spook.
All right. SCP-015-IT is contained in a standard cell for humanoids in Site Vittoria. It's kept under surveillance by a system of cameras and infrared sensors. The room and the adjacent corridors must be painted white and be kept well lit. 2 times per day, a pig, Sus domestica, they put the Latin name for some reason, is is to be introduced in the cell to let SCP-015-IT feed. Personnel assigned to this SCP must take psychological evaluations weekly and must be cycled every 3 months. Here's the description. It's a humanoid entity around 1.9 meters tall with hairless skin capable of absorbing 98% of incident light.
I don't.
Huh.
So it's like the Vanta Black, where it just like absorbs
Yes,
all
it's
light.
basically
and it's just
Vanta Black, the monster.
Ew. I also don't like the term hairless skin.
Yeah, what is it? That's a very strange term when I was going. I was like, that's a weird one.
He's a giant naked cat.
It's a big, naked,
that
weird
absorbs light.
thing that absorbs all the light around it.
Like I don't look at my palm and go hairless skin. I just go skin.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
But it's
whatever.
specifically hairless.
So, like, if you're looking for this thing with like a flashlight, it just like you just can't see it. With just
Yeah,
like
the
You
a
see
light.
what's
just still get
illuminated
absorbed.
behind him, but
Yeah.
not him at all.
So he looks like a shadow.
It wouldn't even look like he's backlit. Yeah, it would look like you literally have like a punch out of like black
Yeah.
space.
Well, in this photo, he's backlit.
Very true. Its face presents neither nose or external ears, and its eyes can emit light due to photophores placed on its iris. The mouth has 8 pointed teeth in each jaw, while the tongue, 28 centimeters long, is forked. I love that they have
Ooh,
long
hot,
the tongue
yum.
is. I don't know who had the time to measure it, but
Yeah. Well, if they contain
someone
it.
getting real fresh with the monsters.
yeah.
Yeah, they can contain
It went
this.
over and it whispered, on both points there are 2 hollow
Maybe
needles.
later I'll let it.
Wait, sorry, what?
Maybe later it'll tell you what that booty do.
Oh God, no.
What that booty do? Look at that.
Favorite food? Tossed salad.
I will say there's like a dude. There's supposed to be a human that's an SCP that can like come back to life after he's killed,
Mhm.
and they said that they'd
Oh.
have him do a lot of the dangerous
Is it Jesus?
tasks. So,
Is
like-
it Jesus?
He would yeah, Jesus,
It's Jesus.
Deadpool?
Oh, it's a
Deadpool and Jesus.
Dead
Jesus
Jesus. Wait.
is Deadpool.
yeah.
Jesus is
Jesus is Ryan Reynolds.
Makes all
Ryan
sense. now.
Reynolds never ages.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, mouth, 8 pointed teeth in each jaw, which by the way, not a lot of teeth. But they're big
They're
and
8?
pointed, I guess. Yeah.
8.
8. Yeah, a big mouth. That's a
Right? When you
slow
think about
read.
it.
Real big
So
mouth.
8 up and
Yeah, a
8
little bit deep.
down. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, on both points there are 2 hollow needles directly connected to the esophagus. So on both points of the forked tongue.
Hmm.
Its arms are... Oh no, the SCP's arms are just disproportionately long when compared to the body and the hands, and with 4 clawed hands. Physically, SCP-015 presents a muscular mass. Despite this, it is surprisingly strong and can easily subdue an adult human. This SCP is highly resilient to physical damage and can heal quickly from wounds and damage to internal organs. It's Wolverine. It's Wolverine.
I was just about to say. I was like, fuck yeah. Bub.
Bub. Yeah, God. Still trying to put that into my vernacular.
Wolverine's grandpa.
You'll get there.
Just
You'll get
roaming
there.
around.
There. I say bud a lot. If I just remember to say bub instead,
You're there.
I'm in
You're
there.
there.
I'm in there.
A lot of spooky monsters have really long arms.
Yeah, what's with that?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's, or
I
I
know.
think it's more so they have some sort of longer appendages because, like, maybe it's just creepier.
It's disproportionate to the eyes. Like whenever
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like whenever I create monsters, when I'm doing like tabletop stuff, I always do like disproportionate bodies because it's just
Yeah.
that's just so offsetting itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
think
humans
that's
are-
right.
Humans are hardwired as a survival tool to see other humans. And so if it's off, your brain is
Yeah.
like struggling and it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like no.
yeah,
If someone's
yeah.
brain didn't struggle, they'd be like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Long,
okay.
long arm guy. Hey, what's going on, dude? Hey.
What's going on,
hey.
bud?
So, like, imagine somebody with a normal body, but their neck just goes too long and it kind of bends forward.
I was
Imagine any
I was-
monster like just being met with kindness, like not expecting it. Just
There was there's like some actor, I was just scrolling through Reddit like a day or two ago, and they have like some basically like genetic disease where like they grow like really, really long arms and legs, but they're also super, super skinny. So they have like this like
Oh.
weird, like the dude's like 6'9"
Right.
and he's like 120 pounds.
Is it? It's not gigantism. It's something else.
No, it's something. It's. I don't remember like the name,
Huh.
but it was. I swear it was like
Yeah.
a French actor.
Is it like when in Space Jam when
What? What?
Finish the thought.
Go ahead.
that's Michael Jordan, right? I've been watching a long
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
He does
When
he
he's about to
tries
dunk the ball?
put his hand in the hoop and it gets really long.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Kind of like when you're learning about the body in biology, and they have the caricature man, where like all your nerves are your biggest parts, and so your hands are real big,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the head's real big.
Yeah.
It's Marfan syndrome.
Thank you.
MFS.
Mark?
So this poor man has Marfan syndrome.
I don't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
So basically, just all of your like, you just super skinny and super like
Yeah.
Yeah.
long.
Fucked up teeth.
Interesting.
So either he has
A
the
big dick?
syndrome or he's Michael
Big-
Jordan in Space Jam.
All right. So this
Yeah.
SCP is predominantly active during the night and
Yeah,
feeds
of course.
exclusively on adrenaline and noradrenaline. That's what it says. Adrenaline, noradrenaline produced by mammals with a preference for human prey, of course.
Fuck. Maybe the first to say fuck.
To procure them, SCP-015-IT developed a hunting method aimed at scaring its target as much as possible. Usually
Oh.
it hides
sure
in
it
dark
worked.
spots, trying not to
Yeah.
be seen, and stalks its victim.
Hold on. Hides in dark
Trying
spots.
not to be seen?
If you put a flashlight on it, you can't even see.
Yeah, trying not to be seen. Motherfucker could stand there. I wouldn't even fucking see
Well,
him.
I feel like if you were out
Like-
in sunlight, it'd be pretty
Well, he
obvious. He's a big...
primarily hunts
Would he
at night.
absorb the sun?
No. I think it's just saying in more enclosed spaces.
I think it'd be really spooky if even if the sun's out, it's like if you're in the vicinity with him, it's just like an eclipse to your vision.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like so if someone's in a plane looking down, they want to see it, they just see like a black void, even though it's bright out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just radiates Vanta Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of
Nearly.
absorbing it, he's extruding.
It did say 98% of light. So it's not
Okay.
almost Vanta Black, but
You'll
it's
see
not
a little
quite.
bit of him, yeah.
Yeah.
A faint flash.
Okay.
If it is not spotted, this SCP waits until its prey is distracted and approaches it silently before grabbing
Like
it
a
and
like
biting
a
them on the
ghost?
side. Huh?
Like a ghost in Mario?
Yeah, like a ghost. So
It's
you
like
have to
if
look
it's-
at him. He's like a
Are you
weeping
even a
angel.
gamer?
Yeah.
He's the weeping
What, Chris?
angel.
What, Chris?
I was just insulting Brandon. It's okay. They're called boos. Do you even game?
Do
I'm
you,
a
game?
Do you even
gamer.
Mario?
I'm a fake gamer, boy.
Oh, it's all fake.
I only played Outer Worlds for 2 hours.
Oh, I gotta beat the DLC.
He's a sloth. Give him a break.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm slow.
Let's see. So he bites the victim on the side. The bite is not meant to kill the victim, but to use the large teeth as anchors while the tongue darts forward and sinks directly into the adrenal gland.
I forgot about the tongue.
Yeah, so it takes its little slither tongue and just
No, sir, I don't like it.
slurps ya.
No, sir.
Like a
I don't
pouch,
like it.
like a juice pouch.
Yeah, because I was about to be like, what's he gonna do with them grandpa teeth? I'm be fine. And then you said the tongue, and I was like, right.
So he
Go
could
right in my
pre-suns
kidney.
humans.
Yeah.
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 The blood
Gross.
rich
He's super freaky.
The blood rich with adrenaline is aspirated from one of the needles, while the second expel it with the addition of a mild sedative. Oh, this allows the SCP to keep the prey immobile without wasting too much energy and to leave undisturbed after its meal. Let's see.
It's lazy.
Yeah, it's lazy. It doesn't want to do a lot of work. That's why it needs the adrenaline. It feeds on adrenaline.
Oh,
because
it
doesn't
has
have
chronic
any.
fatigue. I can relate.
Yeah. It's a solution for chronic fatigue. I wish I had that.
Woo.
Woo! Wow! Prolonged observation of this SCP causes psychic deterioration to expose
Been there.
subject with auditive and visual hallucinations, panic attacks, and in the most sensitive individuals, damage to the cardiovascular system. The first
Oh.
symptoms appear after 2 weeks.
Like
but
scary
this time,
COVID.
Yeah, like scary COVID.
Wait, hold on. Scarier COVID. I don't need that virus to hear me talking shit.
Oh, no. The first symptoms appear after 2 weeks. It is COVID. But this time,
Wait.
but this time is reduced if the SCP doesn't feed regularly. The cause of this phenomenon is currently unknown, but it's theorized it is a method to rend vulnerable preys that would be too strong or aggressive otherwise.
Oh.
Recovery
So as long as
log.
you
Ooh.
give it to him, he leaves you alone.
We caught it by shooting it with a gun.
Yeah.
And then dragged it into the SCP containment.
Well,
Like most cases, we just shoot it.
We did a Benny Hill chase sequence, and he got so tired, we just scooped him up.
We threw it. We got him in a Scooby-Doo trap.
Yeah.
It was captured in 2012 after the police of Data
Good.
Redacted in the province of Caserta received many reports of vampire attacks. Let's see.
Ew.
The site Victoria sent some sort of team to deal with the menace due to its unsuspected agility and its coloring, which allowed it to hide in dark areas. It managed to avoid capture until it was shot with a transmitter that allowed the Foundation to trace its position. When it was surrounded, the SCP reacted with unforeseen violence and was able to kill blank soldiers and wound blank before being subdued.
Wait, unforeseen? He's violent. What did?
Well, he wasn't. Well, I think people weren't dying. They were just getting attacked.
How do you not look at that thing and God, this thing's gonna get
I mean, I
angry at
feel like with with these people, they've seen enough that they're like, not
It
impressed.
just, it just wanted a little bit of good suck. That's it. And
Oh.
they weren't in for that good suck.
They weren't in for the good side.
So apparently this SCP escaped, and yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
this document much. Oh.
Is this?
I mean, we can wrap it up there. It seems like we got a
Yeah,
good idea.
that's
what
the
this
majority of
booger
it.
man is.
That's the majority.
I like
of
this
it.
man. He's spook. I like him better than the rank.
So he's like an adrenaline vampire.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
an
But-
adrenaline vampire that's
But even creepier.
yes, a darkness adrenaline vampire monster.
I wonder who his mom is.
Aw.
I have a monster if we're on the note of monsters.
Oh, yeah.
So here it's if I put it on my
Nice.
camera. So if you would like to describe that,
yeah.
Brandon,
Oh.
with
So
your
imagine-
word dictionary.
So there's this
Oh.
beast. Imagine a very angry one of those tardigrades. Like they're water bears. They're very
Yeah,
small at
yeah.
microscopic level. They're indestructible.
Yes.
Nearly. They've been around forever. It's like an albino tardigrade whose like body is almost like a snowstorm. It's like in motion, and then its face is very clear and scary. Big old sharp teeth. Big old.
Looks like a yeti.
Yeah,
Snow.
Yeah.
snowy-
I see that. They got
So
little big old
this
hands.
is the Clunking, and
Clunking.
it is this creature from Estonian mythology is something like an evil protector of the forest. This creature from Estonian mythology is something like the evil protector of the forest, eating children alive when they bother forest spirits. This creature, however, isn't a good spirit on a bad day. It is the relentless ghost of oh my god, excuse me. It is the relentless ghost of an unholy dead. Because of this, you're running the risk of being harassed everywhere in the wild. For the Clunking does not have a fixed hunting place. To make matters worse, some stories tell that if the Clunking goes through the body of someone, that person becomes evil, thus potentially creating a legion of serial killers. So don't go into a forest in Estonia.
Not gonna. I didn't plan on it. I'm definitely not gonna now.
Or don't
You
be a
know-
small child in Estonia, I guess.
So if I'm an adult, I'm okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like,
It's really funny. Last year, Brazzers voted me Clum King. Oh, sorry, Cum King is different. I'm sorry. It's
So,
got
like,
confused.
I'm in the forest. meet me guys.
Sorry. That got me too good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
Your
Andre,
reaction
please.
was
Yes, yeah.
oh, I don't even remember what I was gonna say now.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just
yeah.
like that you are the monster talking.
Yeah. It's for good.
While we have you here, He's gone. He gets a little shy.
Yeah, he left. Maybe he'll come back. I'm not
Maybe
sure.
he'll come back one day.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go eat children.
I understand.
Yeah, totally
It's lunchtime.
Yeah.
relatable.
I
In
understand.
Estonia?
that.
Might be dinner time. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Same hat.
Same hat.
Same hat.
Wait, Andre, I can't message you on Discord. I can't.
Oh, it's fine. I said, give me some of your Beetlejuice.
I can't. I can't give you
Ah.
anything on.
You can't slide them over?
No. Oh, you mean literally in the stream?
Yeah.
Because I realized you
Oh.
put yours on the
Share
screen.
some of your Beetlejuices.
I'll
Give me some of your
share.
BJs. Sounds terrible.
Give him off-brand Beetlejuice, like.
Yeah, give me the poor man BJ.
Like,
You heard
oh,
Andre.
oh.
Yeah, give him a BJ.
There you
Give
go.
him the
Give
BJ.
him the B-
Here you
Not
go.
from you. I want them from someone.
When did this become the less you blow? I didn't
When
know I
said
was on that
Brazzers, when I
podcast.
said Brazzers.
Yeah, we just switched. I gotta change the Twitch title.
There you go. I gave you some Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, it's if you say Brazzers 3 times in this podcast, it becomes less you blow.
So instead of someone showing up, our podcast just shifts.
Yeah.
Can we live stream on Pornhub?
I
I'd imagine so, but I don't.
Huh.
We should do a live show.
It's gonna end up being like a
I
fucking
don't know if we want to do that.
yeah, I don't know about that one.
I want to see comments from really gross
Let-
people.
Oh my
Let me know how that goes. I'll catch the report afterwards.
God.
It's gonna end up being like a cam girl show.
Look, we can't take our shirts off on Twitch or on Get Vocal. We'll take our shirts
Finally.
off. And the more you blow.
Yeah.
Andre, do you have something a spooky?
That's spooky creepy.
Yeah, this is
This
Pokemon.
is Pokemon. Okay. I have one called
Mhm.
Backward Suicide.
Oh,
Oh, it's like it's pooping in each other's butts forever. What was that
I've heard
thing?
Back and forth
Back
forever.
and forth
Yeah.
forever.
Is that you already know this?
from
story?
Miranda
No.
July's Me, you and everyone
No.
you know.
Like articles, I don't read these one at a time, so that way I can also be surprised with everybody else. Backward suicide. Dave was bullied a lot in high school for being overweight. He would get made fun of a lot, and he would often get beat up. His parents didn't care, and his school didn't care as well. Life was pretty miserable for him. I'm sad.
His life was shit. Utterly shit.
One day,
Terrible. Terrible.
after the main bully, Harold, pushed him
Oh.
down the stairs.
Harold.
That was his break.
Harold.
He got up, shoved him into the wall. Before they
Into
could
the
get
wall.
into a
Wow,
fight,
that's very strong.
To the wall.
not through it, just against it, I guess.
Yeah.
Before they could get into a fight, a teacher broke them up and sent them down to the office. Harold was told not to do it again by the principal, and Dave was suspended for a week. Dave felt terrible. This is when he started having suicidal thoughts. 1 week later, when he went back to class, he went to the gym. Another main bully, another main squad named Ronnie said to him, "Can you see your feet when you look down?" Your kid's standing next to
He
it.
sounds like shut up, Memday. Like fucking.
Shut up, Nimsy.
Hey, boss.
Harold included laughed at him. Then more people in the gym started laughing at him as well. Dave tried walking away, but Harold threw a 10-pound dumbbell at him.
Damn.
Jesus
Damn,
Christ.
boy.
It caused him to fall over. Did you even kill him?
Yeah,
Rip.
what?
Now everyone is laughing at him. Ronnie said, I don't remember the voice. Want us to get a... I'm just doing Jeff.
He's doing
Want us to
JFK.
get her to
Yeah.
help to get back up. It's hard to
Uh-huh.
do voices when I have a headphone on. I can't my tone. That was the breaking point for him. He ran away from the gym and ran down the school's basement. Down there, he found a pump which sprayed some weird gas he'd never heard of before. He decided to inhale it and hope that it would kill him. Ooh. He put the pump into his
Jesus.
mouth and started inhaling it. After doing so for about a minute, he realized that it wasn't killing him. He sadly put the pump down and walked back inside the gym. As soon as he entered, Harold and Ronnie threw a basketball at his face and knocked him down. Jesus Christ.
This is violent.
Relentless.
Yeah.
They were laughing at him, and he got back up again. He screamed, "Fuck you," as loud as he could at them. But as soon as he did, a large red cloud shot out of his mouth. Ronnie
Oh.
jumped out of the way, but Harold was consumed by it. The entire class was shocked. There's a lot of witnesses. As it cleared up, they saw that a large, enormous cuts were opened all over him, and a weird black goo was spilling out of his body.
Oh, black.
He was
goo.
screaming in terror as his
Ooh.
flesh continued to melt off his body.
Oh.
Dave
Okay.
realized that the gas he
All right.
inhaled mutated him into a monster. Just as Harold died, Dave breathed it at Ronnie as well. He grabbed him by the throat and picked him up. He also had super strength now.
Good.
he
Good
held
for
up-
him.
He held up, I am the strong one now.
I am
He
the master
deserves
now.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me.
He held his jaw open and he breathed it down his throat as Harry was screaming. He was screaming in terror.
Streaming. Gotta stream.
Screaming. His flesh stated to melt from the inside. This is what happens when they read these. They eventually start losing grammar.
God.
Dave turned towards everyone else and breathed it at them. Everybody was consumed by it, and they all started to die. Several more kids were running by the gym, and they heard the noise. And Dave breathed it at them. After more kids noticed, everybody was trying to run away from it fast as possible. This was like a school shoot. That's
And
Yeah?
then he stopped. And the story's over. Wow.
I'll just say the last part. He escaped the school before the cops arrived, and he was running. He began to transform into a giant humanoid monster. He now wanders the woods at night, and he kills
Wow.
everyone he sees.
Wow.
Another masterpiece
Wow.
written by Brian Berta.
Amazing.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, thank you.
Fantastic.
I definitely want to. Hit the nail on the head of like it was Brian Berta who wrote this, not me.
Y'all should
Not
look.
me.
Y'all should look at the stream right now because there's way too many gifs. I was laughing because I kept adding gifs.
I can't wait until the end of the stream is just gifs. It's a small little circle of our faces and just gifs.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted to.
He was
That's what I
less
wanted.
shit post that I thought. It took a turn.
Yeah.
It
was
took
like, let's
some
finish it,
turns.
Yeah. I was waiting for the hook, and oh boy.
Are we going back to the forest?
I would love that.
All right.
wow.
Bop. All right. So this next story is a little bit different than my usual horse park rangers. This is a different one. I think there's something in this for you, Nicole.
Oh, for me.
Yeah.
Big
Para
thick
mí.
man comes out of the dark woods.
Big, thick
His-
boy.
he
Thumbs
said-
up.
Thighs and calves a slapping.
He's like, I need Nicole.
Oh no, no!
He's
That's the
very-
whole
he's very
spooky
direct
Just
about it.
thing.
sculpted.
Oh, I'm so
Sculpted and
scared.
bulbed. Oh no, what will I do?
Oh, no.
He's thick, chubby, and slight buff, like that nice combo, that thick daddy buff.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a name for. I bear. I guess
don't
he's just.
know. I don't
bare
fucking know.
bod.
If I knew, I would know. Yeah.
If
I
I
knew
knew
I
that
would
would streamline my searches. Okay.
I would like that.
I was worried when I first inherited Claudette that she would be lonely and depressed. I knew parrots were supposed to be social creatures, but I was barely
There it
equipped
is.
to handle one, much less get her a companion. Aunt June, who had generously given the bird to me after discovering how loud and energetic she could be, assured me that Claudette was an independent sort and would be fine on her own.
Is this gonna make me scared of Laszlo?
Claudette and I had a rocky start. I was timid around her large beak and sharp claws, and she was slow to trust another new person. She'd apparently had a number of homes in her 25 years, all of whom had given her up,
Oh.
much the same as Aunt June had. That was mostly why I kept her. I felt sorry for her and wanted to give her a family. Or did I have a home? Even though it was a steep learning curve. We had what felt like a long period of adjustment, during which I learned that getting bitten, while painful, could be much worse, and learned to at least recognize me as the hand that fed her. When I discovered she was the happiest in my small screened-in porch, I moved the cage there and gave her free run of it, which improved our relationship.
Oh.
It took a lot of time, patience, and treats, but eventually it got to the point where she would fly over to me whenever I went to and set my arm out, and she inhaled whatever I brought her. If I had been worried about her getting lonely while I was away, those concerns were quickly banished when I realized she was making fast friends with the mockingbirds who nested in the tree behind my apartment. They'd trade calls and squawk at each other throughout the day, which sometimes got me a little trouble with the noise-sensitive neighbors, but it wasn't anything new. A few household cookies and apology cards couldn't smooth over. I'd never considered getting a parrot before, but Claudette proved to be a sweet, smart girl once she got past her initial ornery. And I learned that she was fairly extensive, somehow colorful vocabulary, and was an excellent little mimicker. I also found out that over a course of a few months while I was at work, she'd apparently been teaching the mockingbirds a thing or two. I was sitting on the porch one evening, giving Claudette a little neck scratch before going in to make dinner, and I heard a soft but very distinct voice coming from somewhere overhead. "Shit," it said. I jumped, having not seen or heard anyone approach, and looked around, but my little corner of the apartment complex was quiet and no one was outside. In my lap, Claudette started to bob her head, and her feathers ruffling ever so slightly. "Shit," the voice said again. "Shit," Claudette answered. She and the voice went back and forth a few more times, enthusiastically shouting one of her favorite words until I rushed her inside in embarrassment, and whoever kept taunting her from going any further. It wasn't until I saw one of her mockingbird friends swoop by the porch a few times before in search of Claudette, and I realized the voice was one of them. It was encouraging their naughty behavior. The mockingbird was mocking her. Claudette had taught the birds to swear. It's going to take a lot more cookies to get back on my neighbor's good side when they'd figured that one out. Well, instead of moving her inside, I tried to encourage her to use sweeter phrases that I hoped the mockingbirds would pick up on. "Hello," I said over and over again. "Hello," Claudette said. "Shit," the mockingbird said. Shit indeed. I hadn't known mockingbirds could talk, much less how to get them to pick up on new words, so I scoured the internet and asked, hoping for some insight. "They just repeat what they hear often," one bird enthusiast said, and I left a comment on a forum. "They'll pick up something else soon," a mockingbird near me constantly called my dogs for ages until it picked up a new bird song. Good luck. Okay, I told myself, I can wait them out. In the meantime, I kept working with Claudette to clean up her language and spent a bit of time every night repeating words to her and rewarding her, and she got them right. And it took a few more weeks and months, but swearing was definitely on the decline. I hadn't heard any mockingbirds repeating her anymore, so I was counting it as a victory. One morning, when I went out to feed her before work, she bobbed and paced along her rung with her usual enthusiasm, but I noticed she was making these odd raspy noises, like she couldn't quite catch her breath. I took her on my arm and gave her a quick once-over, stroking her back. "You okay?" I asked. "Hello," she said, and the odd breathing stopped. I waited a little while, and almost enough time to make me late, but she seemed fine, so I rushed out to get to work. The next morning, however, the low, rasping noises were back. She came over to me and fluffed and bobbed, all while making the ragged breathing sounds. Outside, the mockingbirds weren't responding with unusual clicking noises. I didn't pay much attention to them, too concerned for my poor parrot. Unable to leave her again when she was in such an obvious state of distress, I called my boss to let her know I had a family emergency and hurried Claudette to the nearby vet, told him a quavering voice that I'm sure was some sort of serious illness, and explained that she was having trouble breathing, and they ushered me into a room to wait for the doctor. When he came in, and I again told him the sounds and begged him to listen to Claudette. She was sitting in her travel cage, breathing quietly, completely undisturbed by the fact that her life was hanging in the balance. I swear she sounded horrible yesterday, and today, I insisted, and the doctors, of course, said sometimes these things come and go. "Can you do me a favor? Imitate the sounds she was making." I quickly did as he asked, hoping I'd accurate enough for him to understand the severity of the situation, and immediately Claudette started to mimic me. Dr. Graham hid a small smile behind his hand before catching himself and becoming serious again. "She's fine, Stacy. It seems she may have overheard you during some nighttime activities and just repeating those sounds." "What?" "I think she heard you with a partner, during intimate moments." Claudette emphasized the statement, and the unmistakable little moan. My face burning bright red. I packed up my bird, mumbled an apology, and thanked him, and practically ran out of the office.
Packed up my bird.
That phrase is pretty funny.
I grabbed my suitcase, stuffed it in. You've been listening to the neighbors, haven't you? I accused a now whistling Claudette on the way home. Or someone been playing their TV a little too loud? How did you learn to make those noises? It had certainly hadn't been me. That much I knew. Whatever it was, it must have been going on for quite a while. She started mimicking it. Couldn't just go around asking my neighbors if they were getting a little down and dirty with the windows open. So for now, I just decided to keep a closer eye on what she was getting exposed to. We got back, put her on the porch. She squawked a chorus of hellos to the mockingbirds, who sank back and didn't settle on top of her cage for a nap in the sun. I sat on the porch with her for a good portion of the day and didn't hear anything particularly telling, and eventually gave up and become uncomfortably warm outside. Well, after a while, I heard a familiar clicking noise from the mockingbirds, and I couldn't quite place where I've heard it before. And then Claudette's heavy breathing sounds started to become more frequent. As part of our mornings, and the occasional little moan, and ever so often, she'd mumble to herself, "Pretty, pretty, pretty."
Stop.
At least that was an improvement on shit. She and the mockingbirds continued their way back and forth, and I got used to their clicking noises the same way I got used to their swearing. But, everything got to the point where I was just calling Claudette's morning behavior her breathing exercise. Ragged breathing, moan, and rinse and repeat until midday. I just had to wait it out, and eventually they'd move on to some new sound and drive me crazy with. Then I heard more and more of it, and I couldn't tell why it kept eluding me. So my sister had asked me, "How's Claudette doing?" And we had our weekly Thursday night phone call. Well, I was sitting in my living room in my pajamas, a little more than a tank top and a pair of shorts that were too small to wear out in public, and my phone in one hand, glass in the other. I let my sliding glass door leading out to the porch just wide enough for Claudette to waddle inside if she wanted to join me. She's fine, still doing that nasty breathing thing. You figured out who taught her that? I'm leaning towards the Johnsons. They've always struck me as exhibitionist types. Raina giggled. Aren't they the old people? Yeah, and they need loving too. While we laughed, I heard some series of very soft clicks through the open door. Oh, I said, mockingbirds are doing this thing I told you about. Maybe you can hear them and tell me what that damn noise is. I sprang from my couch and across the living room to yank back the sheer curtain hanging across the sidebar. The clicking stopped immediately. Besides me, Claudette paced back and forth in her cage, mumbling all the while. Pretty, pretty, pretty. A bush on the other side of the screen shook just slightly. The light inside my apartment reflected the porch screen, making it difficult to see outside, and I froze. I can't hear him, Raina said in my ear. Stacy? The bushes rustled again. Claudette started to make the shuddering, raspy breathing sounds. From the trees over her head, the mockingbirds responded with their clicks. I now recognized the sound with sudden, chilling clarity. Raina? I said as calmly as I could. I think someone's in my bushes. As soon as the words left my mouth, a dark figure sprang upright and was making a mad dash around the side of the apartment building. It happened so quickly I couldn't make out much. No features, nothing significant. Just dark clothes, maybe a hat, and then it was gone.
He's like, cheese it.
Wait, did you say it had a hat?
Yeah, maybe a hat. Raina was asking me in a near panic if she should call the police while I was too stunned to answer. Taken months for me to teach Claudette new words, months for her to pick up new sounds, months for me to have her learn to mimic accurately. No doubt it would have taken the same amount of time listening to someone breathing heavily and moaning to repeat the sounds accurately. My stomach dropped, fast and far. I thought I might vomit. She hadn't learned those sounds from a noisy neighbor at our television show. She learned them from the man who had been hiding outside my apartment, panting like a dog while he watched me. I stumbled back against the slider and scrambled to get in again. Over my shoulder, one of the mockingbirds called out in the night on the treetop. The perfect imitation of a camera shutter.
Aww.
Oh, damn.
This is Spooky
Month. The most
good.
spooky month of all. The most spooky story of all. Creepy men.
Creepy men.
Creepy men
Those
that
cryptids are
stalk
real.
you without Information. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Here's a tip:
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
So,
That's a good
just
tip.
don't go in the bush.
Think about it creepy? How about you don't?
Just don't.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you got a bird, Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, luckily he can't
Hanging out.
mimic anything. He's just an idiot.
Luckily, that's the downside.
I think it's lucky. I'd rather not know.
You'd rather-
Ignorance is
you
bliss.
Just run into your place.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe he's a thick daddy. I don't know. He
Who
comes to
knows?
his
You
head.
know. Yeah. I can't. Also, more gifts for you, Andre.
Thank you. I saw. I
Now we add-
appreciate the
Now we add
sexy
cartoon.
striped Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Now we add cartoon juice to the mix.
Juice.
There is so much happening.
Y'all audio listeners missing out.
You guys are missing out. It's gift central out here.
Could this just be the image for the episode? Is just a screenshot of that?
Yeah. I think
I
that's
can
pretty
make that
good.
happen. Doesn't need anything special.
Oh no, it's already special enough.
It's so funny. I just kept laughing when you were telling the story, Brandon. I kept laughing. 'cause
Yeah.
I kept looking at the screen.
Yeah, it's getting more and more.
Whenever anyone's telling a story, I keep adding more.
Well, I have a short little one.
Yeah.
If you're interested.
No.
for it.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So I believe the correct pronunciation is the Diatolv Pass incident, but it's also named the Devil's Pass, which is a movie that was made after
Oh.
the events that took place, and
That's
this
cool.
took place in Russia. So
Oh, so it's probably pronounced some. I don't know.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's I'm gonna say Devil's Pass, but it's
Yeah.
it's Dyatlov. So Diatolv Pass, but I'm sure that there's
Deal-
Yeah.
deal-
Yeah.
that's
deal-
probably how you say it.
uh,
Just
sure.
gotta throw a little something on it.
Alright.
So the Devil's Pass was an event. Was an event in which 9 Russian hikers died in the northern Ural Mountains between the 1st and 2nd of February
Man.
in 1959.
I think I've
In
heard this story, but go on.
in
Just 10 years off.
Oh God, Brandon, please. In uncertain circumstances. The experienced trekking group, who were all from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, had established camp on the slope of the Shark in the area now named in honor of the group leader Igor Deltov or Dialtov. Anyways, during the night, something caused them to tear their way out of their tents and flee the campsite while inadequately dressed for heavy snowfall and sub-zero temperatures. After the group's bodies were discovered, an investigation by the Soviet authorities determined that 6 had died from hypothermia, while 3 showed signs of physical trauma. 1 victim had a fractured skull, 2 others had major chest failures, 1 body was missing both its eyes, and one was missing a tongue. The investigation concluded that the compelling natural force had caused the deaths. Numerous theories have been put forward in an account for the unexplained deaths, including animal attacks, hypothermia, avalanche, katabatic winds, infrared sound-induced panic, military involvement, or some combination of these.
Huh.
Now, I will put this, if you can keep this or you can cut this, but Russia opened in a new investigation into the incident in 2019, and its
Ooh.
conclusions were presented in July 2020. That the cause of death was hypothermia due to a combination of an avalanche forcing the group to leave their camp, combined with low visibility. One of the deputy heads of the regional prosecutor's office said that it was a heroic struggle. There was no panic, but they had no chance to save themselves under the circumstances.
Huh. But how did the guy lose the eyes and the
The infrared.
like
That's
the
Or
skull fracture? I
infrasound.
don't know if that's
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's like like it's there's still like some creepiness that surrounds it, like
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what
big
they
time.
that's what they claim to have found.
I have the mental image of Snow hitting his back of his head, and it's like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know what? That is a possibility that there was so much trauma that it did. I mean, the same thing could be said about like the tongue, like that it just they bit through their tongue or something. I don't know.
I could see them maybe biting it off.
And then like in the avalanche they they get shot out everywhere. I don't know. But the movie, I saw the movie ages ago, and it's all right. It's a B movie. It's a B horror movie, but it's all right.
Sure. What did they have as the reason for those guys dying? Did they show it at all, or did they like?
Oh, in the movie?
Yeah.
In the movie, it's all military like radiation and stuff like that. And it's like it basically like it starts it goes to shit, and then it really 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 goes to shit. Like,
I like
it's a pretty good horror movie. Like, as I said though, it's B, so just understand that when you go into it.
It's B movie with Jerry Seinfeld.
What's an A?
Excuse me?
Horror movie.
Huh?
Who's got an A? Who knows? What do you guys consider an
A
A
horror movie? It's a horror
Or
movie.
does one not exist?
Cabin in the Woods, like that's
just
a
like
great.
good. Yeah.
It's just a good horror movie in general. It's got
Yeah.
scare. It's kind of got everything for the family.
I mean,
Had that budget too.
I'll never watch it again because it scared the living shit out of me. But It Follows was very scary.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Ever watched
fantastic.
the house on the left, the cabin on the left? I can't remember.
The
Last House on the Left.
That's disgusting.
Oh, I want to watch Bly Manor. I still haven't.
That was just like, well, maybe I watched a remake. I'm not sure, but I watched it when I was in college, and it was.
I got it. This is an easy one, Andre. I can't believe it took us this long to figure it out. Paul W.S. Anderson's Resident Evil.
Oh, of
the
course.
entire trilogy is just
shit.
A+
Yeah, I think so.
material.
Yes.
If that material was found in a trash can.
I'm gonna pause
True.
it. I'm gonna
Great.
pause it.
Yeah.
One. It's not really strictly a horror movie. I feel like it's more of a horror comedy.
Damn.
It's I don't know if you've heard of it before. It's called Beetlejuice. I don't know.
I mean that is an A+ one though. Like if
I
you
will
did
say.
put it in if for the few horror bits there are, like it is like yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's A+ in
Alright.
my book. Yeah, I agree with you
yeah,
on
there
that
you
one.
What's
go.
our tier our list we just created?
There's
What else? Hold on, let me think.
There's house.
Oh, that one's good.
What's the list we just created?
Oh,
I want to
I
get
thought you
a
were saying
mental
house suit.
image.
House.
House suit. Oh,
So,
house
like-
suit is great.
Yeah.
House.
I would give
House.
house suit an A.
Yeah.
so
Oh,
like
so we're
Cabin in the
rating
Woods.
them now? I misunderstood. I thought we were just talking about in terms of budget.
Oh, is that what the B
Oh.
movie thing is
I
mostly
thought-
about? Budget.
It-
B stands for budget.
I don't know.
I thought the grades always stood for like the quality of entertainment. Like, well, part of it is financial. Like, oh, they didn't have a lot of money. This is a
Yeah.
shitty.
I think
Sure.
it's the actual scale of the entire movie itself. Like, did it go to theaters? Did it have like a big,
Yeah.
I think it's just the amount.
Distribution does equal budget, generally speaking.
Yeah, so I think you are right. Yeah, it's probably very much in the budget realm, but also probably
think it's a
in the
mix, yeah.
format it gets put out as well. But that still
Yeah,
boils
I guess
back down
house
to
suit would
budget.
be an A then. It's
Like
budget's
a
really
good
low.
example is like
Still fantastic.
the Sam
still-
Raimi Evil Dead. Like that's a B movie, but that's like an A+ B movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Resident
Yeah.
Evil movies had a pretty good budget for its time.
Those would be like if
They're good.
it's like game terms, like they're AAA movies, but they're
Shit.
garbage can quality.
Yeah,
Garbage
totally.
Like I feel bad for the Monster Hunter community. Like, oof, y'all in for a
yeah,
treat.
it's not gonna be good.
I personally- I personally
gonna be
love
good.
garbage, and I just
Mijovic.
can't wait.
I honestly think this is the only way it could be entertaining.
I was reading. This is so off track, but like I was reading Reddit comments about like the poster and like Monster Hunter fans about like the weapons that they have and like the monster behind them and how like it correlates to it being like. And it was just there's just like, why are they using that weapon against this monster? It's like, oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are very Monster
Yeah.
Hunter as like a concept is a very like I don't know, like number counting thing where you're just
It's
like,
very
oh, I have
paperclippy.
to, yeah, it's
I
rinse,
was-
repeat, rinse, repeat,
I-
rinse, repeat.
I'm gonna take a win that they're just using the weapons in general.
That's fair.
Sure.
No, that's fair.
I thought they were just going to
It's
continue
just-
using guns
It's
the whole
gonna
time.
be bad. I mean, I don't care about Monster
Yeah.
Hunter, but
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be
amazing.
bad. Like,
Oh, it's gonna be
It's
so
amazing.
bad.
It's
I
just gonna
love
be
it.
another
So, well, that's
fucking
that's why it's
jerk
gonna be
off
so good, Nicole.
military bullshit.
I think
whatever
we could
thing.
no,
consider
they lose
this-
their military weapons and shit. Like real, like, and they get Monster Hunter swords and shit.
Tony Jaa's in it. I gotta say that I'm happy about that because Tony Jaa is one of those martial art people that really needed a break when it came to movies. I felt,
Yeah.
but they literally call him the Hunter. That's it. That's his name.
Like they literally have. I'm surprised they literally like basically have the actual models of the monsters, just higher def, and then they have the
Yeah.
weapons. So like that's as far as I didn't even expect them to go that far. I thought they were gonna make up some random monsters, but all they ever shown was like Rathlos, like and some other monsters that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. I really want Brachydios. He got the penis arms with the radio.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
There's no way
But-
that movie can be
Yeah,
good.
but Paul's
Yeah.
not gonna try. He's not gonna find the best penis
No.
monster. He's just gonna find the best monster.
Yeah.
I want him.
Amateur
I want this
hour.
to be the way it is. It's good.
Yeah.
It's bad good the way it is. Like if you try to take this really seriously and try
Yeah.
to make a really good movie, I wouldn't and have fun. But
I feel that.
I feel like looking at this going into it, they're just like, 'cause I feel like if you do make it serious and you try to replicate the game, it's gonna be dumb. Like I feel like if you try to
God,
be
I
true,
feel
it's-
like this feels
gonna
like
be
a
dumb regardless.
Sonic fan talking about the Sonic movie moment.
Yeah, what is this? Game corner?
No, I just mean like
Let's
they're
get
like
to
it's
the
good, guys. It's a
Oh.
good movie.
oh no, it's gonna be terrible, but it's gonna be great.
Oh, yeah. Just
Speaking of
god-awful.
creatures, are there more
Another
creatures or copy
SCPs?
pasta?
Yeah, I can get an. let's get
Nice.
another-
I was assuming
Good.
just like two or so.
I
Yeah.
think I think we
I-
got time
yeah.
for one of each.
Yeah,
Okay.
I brought two to share, and I had a third backup just in case. But
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
a
I think we have
jokey
time
one that I could do.
ooh,
It's stupid. I just saw it and I was like, all right. Here we go. Ready?
Brandon's lost in the sauce.
He's very
literally.
lost in the- okay.
Let's just say I had a lot of time while we were talking about
Yeah,
Monster Hunter.
It's like a,
Let's just say I had a lot of
it
time.
has the feeling of, remember Blingy? The,
Oh, that's what I was
Oh,
going
yeah,
for. Thanks for
yeah,
noticing.
Yeah. All right. So SCP 5092. Special containment procedures. So here we go. The current president of the United States of America is to remain under video surveillance every night between 1945 and 20. Oh, it was military time. So at night. A certain
7:45 and something. Yeah.
yeah. With their face and or arms in view of the camera as frequently as possible. Surveillance is to be automatically conducted via concealed cameras located within and around the White House, Congress, the president's private residences, and common presidential speaking avenues. The president should be outside of these areas between those times on any given night. An agent should be dispatched to fit the location with concealed cameras beforehand or visually confirm the events occurring. This is considered a level 1 dark response situation. At 12 each day.
Dark response.
At 12 each day, all recorded footage is stored automatically in Terminal 12, Site 10. It will then be fed through an algorithm to check for any deviances from SCP-5092 standard behavior. The algorithm should be checked for faults annually. You ready to discover what this is?
Sure am.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me it's just good old web.
SCP. I'll say for the record, it's a picture of Obama in the thing, so I think they wrote it around.
Oh, okay.
SCP-5092 is a phenomenon affecting the President of the United States. Every night at exactly 1953, so I guess 7:53, the President will scratch their nose, regardless of any external factor. This is not due to direct compulsion to do so, but is simply a result of their nose becoming spontaneously itchy.
Oh.
Yep, that's what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
SCP-5019 was first discovered in 1982 by the second iteration of the Anomalous Signature Recognition Program after being given access to the Foundation's Important Political Actors Video Archive, which contained enough footage of SCP-5019 events for them to detect the anomaly. All right. Yep. So
I
at a
love it.
certain time, so apparently it was at a certain time.
Yeah.
With every time, no matter what, when you're the president, you scratch your nose at 7:50 p.m.
I
If
won't be the
you're
president
asleep.
to find out. What if I like do a whole campaign trail? I become president. I just go out there, stand there, and be like, all right.
Right. All right. I have a
Gonna
real
happen.
one that I would like to read if that's okay.
Okay.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Because I was
You own
like,
that.
I realized halfway through what they were mimicking, and I was like,
Nah.
or at least
No
I'm
worries.
pretty sure. All right. SCP-5936. The area in which SCP-5936 manifests has been acquired by the Foundation with a 1 kilometer exclusion zone established around it. Let's see. Foundation personnel are strictly forbidden from interacting with entities originating from this place under threat of immediate termination. All potential anomalies found within this SCP are to reported to Provisional Outpost or Site 120. All right, the description. Here we go. SCP-5936 is a spatial anomaly located approximately 2 kilometers north of the town of Częstochowa, Poland. I'm gonna say Częstochowa.
Oh. Yeah.
SCP-5936 interior is approximately 100 kilometers. SCP-5936 can only be observed and entered by individuals that are non-religious, have lost a close relative or friend, have worked with or been a witness of occult phenomena. Whenever an individual is brought near the anomaly that does not meet the above criteria, they neglect its existence, claiming to only see a barren field, and expressing desire to leave the area. Although scans and surveys of SCP-5936 have found no life forms inhabiting the area naturally, subjects who enter the anomaly have reported sensations of being watched, paranoia of the presence of someone in close proximity, feelings of immense irrational hatred. Let's see. The inside of SCP-5936 consists primarily of an urban topological district incorporating elements such as parking lots, playgrounds, shops, and a singular park. The weather within this SCP will contain dense fog and clouds, despite the weather surrounding the anomaly. Additionally, once an individual has crossed the threshold, they will find that the sun sits at a consistent 6 degrees altitude, which is indicative of 5 p.m. in the area. So, do you have any idea what this is?
I don't.
A cloud.
It's Silent Hill.
Oh.
Oh,
See, I've never played a Silent Hill.
I like this. That was good.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
is
much
good.
Silent Hill. There's more, but like I read it and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, because it's like only certain people can go in. They have to have lost when they go in.
Gotcha.
It's like a little town and fog. And, oh.
Huh.
If it's not
Yeah.
that,
That's
it's
good. That's
probably
clever.
very like.
Yeah.
fun. And
Oh,
it's in
yeah.
Poland, I guess. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Andre, round this out?
Yeah, mine.
Okay. You really kept
Not
that shoe on
actually.
your head almost the entire time.
I gotta commit to the bit.
He's a
It's-
man who commits.
It's
to the bit.
scripted, Nicole.
It's true. This is scripted
Look at your
too.
notes.
I mean, this is all we're doing this and it's scripted and we're talking to each other and in the script.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mentioning the script is in the script.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Many times.
Yeah.
Just got to make sure we don't mention the augmented reality machine breaking ever so often. But
Yeah.
I'm honestly glad that I've nailed all of my marks every time I've added a GIF. It's like add this GIF, and I'm like struggling to find it, and I hit it each time.
Yeah.
Don't want to toot my own horn, but
No, it's good.
I'm happy. I filled my box,
yeah.
Good.
but I didn't want to block. Oh, this way. I didn't want to block the boy.
Yeah,
No.
of course.
Yeah, you had. Yeah, and you have a spooky poster that fills up that spot.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can't really see it, but like there's like a little bit of like there's something to the left of the head. It's actually like a little guild of calamitous intent.
Oh, cool. Oh, I wanted to get. I was thinking about what I want next. I have one, but I want to.
I am a sucker for anything for like guild of calamitous intent stuff.
I'm gonna do the Order of the Triad. symbol
Oh,
thing, 'cause
nice.
I love those.
Yes, they're very.
Fuck
I love
yeah.
it.
They're fantastic.
All right,
Alrighty.
what's this pasta?
Yeah, let's do it.
I won't read the title for this one.
Okay.
I'll just get into it.
I'm excited for this is gonna entail.
Let's see.
I liked the Balto series when I was younger.
Strong start.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
So I
I'm in.
decided
You son of a bitch.
pick up a
I'm in.
Balto DVD at the grocery store. You would find it at the grocery store. I was lucky. There was one Balto DVD in a
So
pile
lucky.
of DVDs. It said Balto DVD.
Wow.
Red flag. Red
That's
flag.
storytelling right there.
I bought DVD and went home to watch. However, I did not know the ugly truth about the crappy DVD. I opened DVD and it said
I
Balto
opened
Goes
DVD.
Psycho. I was scared, but I was curious about the DVD. Movie starts with Balto wake up from bed and yelling the F word.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so scary.
I was scared more, especially
Fuck.
since Balto never said a swear word.
Yeah.
That is a reason to be scared
That's
more.
alarming.
The
Mm-hmm.
movie continued. Balto brought out a laptop.
Oh.
They were not even invented in 1920.
Wow.
Hmm.
And he has thumbs now so he can type.
Balto
Hmm.
cry on his bed, then
Mm-hmm.
vomit, then jump out of his house. House was a dead whale. His run
Okay.
to
We're in Death
Gnome and
Stranding
saw
now.
Boris. Boris said, "Hey, you look tired. What's wrong?" And the next thing, with the quotations, and then the next thing that Balto said shocked the heck out of me.
The
Balto
living heck.
screams, "I am not a fucking tired son of a bitch."
Wow,
Balto!
that's
I
too
am
many potty words
psycho.
for me. I don't know about that one,
Yeah.
honestly.
I'm not the.
Then
I
he
think I might
picked up
shit
a
right
gun
there.
and shot the duck in the face. It was hyper realistic blood everywhere. Balto made
Of
a
course.
manacle.
It's always hyper realistic blood. It's-
Oh yeah. Nothing scarier.
I love that so much.
Balto made a maniacal laugh and ran into the city. He was covered in the hyper realistic blood and had red eyes. He went to his wife Janice.
Excuse
and,
me? Excuse me.
Yes?
resident-
Excuse me, sir.
Hello?
Yeah.
What?
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Janice?
Damn it. Janice, I love you.
He
Even though her name's
sneaked
Janet,
in
but
and
whatever.
screen fade to real hyper bloody blue.
Of course.
Okay.
It skipped to Balto far from home. He was now red and
Spider-Man?
melting.
Wait, he was now what? Red and melting?
Red and melting. It's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Far From Home.
He grab a gun and shoot a bunch of animals.
How did he
in the
shoot?
forest.
He doesn't have fingers and
He
thumb.
yells, "I'm a motherfucking maniac." I could not
Damn,
watch
true.
it any longer, but I still watch it. He saw the two polar bear cubs from the previous movie. He both grab them and throw them into water. He scream at them,
Throw them in a water.
Yeah.
You fucks must stay here for the rest of your life." Then he run away laughing. He go back to Gnome and go to Janice's house. There was a grave and she was dead. He looks up at the ceiling. "Goodbye, cruel world," he says.
Oh.
He grabs a gun and shoots himself. Movie end. I cried for 6 hours and then tried to return the DVD. However, DVD was suddenly turned into Spider-Man video game for 3DS.
You know what this
I hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens.
However, I still recorded the entire thing into an MP4 file. Oh no, help me.
Oh, thank goodness.
You know what this reads like?
What?
This reads like a kid had like a nightmare that I'm sure was very scary in the nightmare, but when you go out and you type it out, it's completely ridiculous.
It's just
Oh.
absolute jargon.
Just complete
Yeah.
nonsense.
It's like, oh, this was so
Because
spooky.
it feels very stream of consciousness and like things are just turning into other things and like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this
Or
one's not
Bad
super
Acid Trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This one's not long either, but it's Balto Goes Psycho the Squeakquel.
The squeak.
Oh, there's a squeakquel.
See,
I'm in it.
did
I'm
they-
invested.
Did they name it the Squeakquel?
Yeah.
This reads to me as self-aware in that case.
The other one was Balto
Yeah.
Goes Psycho. This one says Balto Goes Psycho.
This
Well, this one's not written by the same person.
Oh, okay. Then this one's self-aware.
Give me the juice.
Yeah,
Give me the
let's do it.
juice.
Give me the juice.
Okay.
Give me the juice. Give me the juice.
Hi, my name is
Hello.
Ron.
Hey, Ron.
I remember loving Balto movie when I was a kid. I remember having a crush. And Balto, and I still do this. I still do to this day because I am a furry and furries love animals. So I wanted to get the
Checks
DVD. This is obviously self-aware, but
Checks
I look
Also
at
seems
Walmart-
reductive, but
Yeah.
continue.
The original
I
story
look at-
was a little more robust.
I look at that was an A. This is clearly a Z movie.
Yeah. it's-
Mm-hmm.
No
B
budget.
movie
I
with
look at
Jerry
Walmart, but when I asked for Balto DVD, they said we don't have. So I look at
We don't
Amazon and
have.
eBay.
We're not
So
to be
look at-
having your movie.
I can read the rest of it. So I look on Amazon and eBay, but do also not have.
Mhm.
I go to Kmart, but they are closed. So yeah, I go.
yeah.
on
You sound like the
Craigslist,
55 guy.
and then I found. I'm gonna pull my headphone aside just so I can hear my voice. I found Buto DVD for free. I'll just go vampire. I described.
there you go.
I am dying as I type this. Please take this. Destroy them now. I did not copy and paste. I drive to a location of DVD and I knock on door, but nobody answered. Okay, I can flip between like 3 different voices.
Important is that you tried.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll just skip to the part where he goes. Then he say, "I had enough with the fuckayukin street light." Proceeded to eat them. The screen turns pastel green, and then it shows a picture of dead wolves everywhere. Then
Aw.
it shows a video of a man killing a wolf, and then reharkening the carcass. The movie shows Balto torturing some polar bears who gave poorly drawn faces for some of the. They give him poorly drawn faces for some reason.
For some
Laugh
reason.
like
For some
Laughs like
reason.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Then Balto in a girl's voice says, "This is my wound now, you fucking hoes." And then he
What?
shoots himself, and the movie ends. Sorry, no credits. Took the DVD out and threw it off the balcony. The TV turns on by itself, and it displays a message: "You have failed the vibe check."
Nice.
And then Balto came to real life, and he said, "I am in hell now." As I type this. Yeah.
Oh wow, he's talking to him when he's
So I skipped the
typing.
middle chunk because I just don't think it was worth it.
Honestly, I think
Well,
that was the right choice.
Yeah, I think
It's-
so.
These kind of, they're like, I see the direction this goes, and then I don't.
Yeah.
It just completely eludes me. Like
Yeah.
it's like 6 sentences in. I'm just like, where the hell did we go? What?
Yeah.
All right, real quick.
Yes.
This one's called "Then Who Was Phone." So you're with your honey and you're making out when the phone rings.
Chill.
You answer it. and
Chill.
The voice is, "What are you doing with my
Oh.
daughter?" You
Oh,
tell your girl, and she say, "My dad is dead." Then who was phone? Then who was phone?
Who was phone?
Who was phone?
And it says Jesus was phone.
oh,
Oh, lame.
dang.
It's Halloween. We have no space for Jesus here.
Nah.
We brought him up earlier. This is
Yeah.
the second time we brought up Jesus.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of space,
No.
apparently.
None.
Well, that's it.
Damn.
It's
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We did it.
Wow.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look
these
forward
things
to
that you should,
the-
like.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
I
gonna
was
say, look forward to
thinking-
the spooky between.
Oh
Because,
yeah. We do that.
I think I'm gonna read a series about a sexy new neighbor instead of anything else.
Ooh. I'm invested
Oh.
already.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna do vampires.
What?
I thought we were gonna do vampires. Oh, spooky between. Sorry.
Yeah, between.
Yeah.
I forget. We have the half.
Yeah.
Follow between.
Just something to honestly be on the edge of your seat for 6 months.
Yeah.
Always on the edge.
All between.
Sorry.
Well, we'll have to.
edge.
I'll have to get you on a normal episode, Chris /
Yeah.
Bahama Gaming.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Bahama Gaming.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks for
thank
having
you,
me for this
Bahama
one.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah,
It's
it was
good.
great having you. And as per your contract, this is the part where you get to talk more about who you are and what you do. Just
Yeah.
not about your dog. You already blew that.
Yeah, I
budget.
used up all that.
You know
No,
that.
my name's Bahamut. I do a lot of casting for specifically Heroes of the Storm. I do a lot of esports work with Heroes Hearth and Wisdom Gaming. We put on a gigantic tournament right now. That's just what I do for fun. Otherwise, I live in a forest and I draw an AutoCAD of every day. So That's pretty much it. I live a very riveting life of videotaping the bears that rub their asses on my trees.
Yeah.
I live in the forest.
Mm-hmm. We don't
Bare
talk about those.
necessities. Yeah, how many staircases have you and Bandit ran into? Oh, sorry, you can't talk about it.
Can't talk about them legally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a number between
Maybe-
1 and 69, so there's that.
nice.
Hopefully it's 69.
Yeah. Well,
You get to the 69th staircase and just says the sign just says nice. Out of order.
And then it said, "Fuck you."
You can't use stairs.
all right, guys.
Awesome.
Well, as always.
Well,
What? Am I forgetting something?
oh wait, no, we copy paste the outro.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I screwed up then.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Technical difficulties are the spookiest thing about live shows.